Ross, what's your topic?
You done with that one?
Yeah.
Aye.
It's not a specific topic. It's just going to be kind of a loose topic. Allows to kind of talk about violence in video games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is super serious discussion.
Well, this topic in particular came to mind last week.
You know, these games are teaching kids how to steal cars and how to shoot people. This Grand Theft Auto. It's terrible.
Darn these games. It came to mind last week when Craig was talking about the Warriors, and he said, and I quote, he said it was like, I shouldn't. My mum got me the Warriors. I was only like 12. I shouldn't have been playing it, but I played it anyway. And it just got me thinking. It just reminded me, like, yeah, you see all this shit, and you can't, not as much anymore. But you used to see all this shit, like, oh, fucking video game made me do a school shooting, and
video game made me do. So the guy beats his wife with an iron because he died in Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, it's just like
I think that's bullshit because I don't think you can blame video games because people have been beating each other to death for hundreds of years.
Well, it's not just games. Like you remember Chucky as well. Chucky caused some murders and stuff like that as well. And I think I don't think the problem is with movies and games. I think the problem is with you, and people just don't want to admit that.
You specifically, Ross.
Yeah.
You specifically.
Yeah. Like I've played
I get it. Like it's all down to the individual. Like if you're a psychopath, you're a fucking psychopath. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter how violent the game is. That person was probably going to be violent anyway.
Just
like, you know what I mean?
Excuse, yeah.
Yeah. Like I've played like hundreds of violent video games when I was little. Because like I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was like I don't know maybe 6 or 7.
I played
people's heads off with a samurai sword and chainsaws. I've never.
GTA London. I played GTA London on the PS1.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like top down and it's brutal.
Yeah.
Blood everywhere and all that.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of GTA, like the first GTA I played was GTA 4, right? And I can remember when it first came out, right, my dad got it from my cousin and he was like, right, you can play it, but you're only playing the first mission where you drive about and stuff like that. And that was kind of like the only taste. Yeah, that was the only taste of GTA I got. And then years later, when I was maybe 16, I got a loan of it off my mate. And because like my parents had like a pure low opinion, like they were like, oh, it's too violent and stuff like that. Like I had to hide the fact that I was playing it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, speaking of that though, like that's I know a lot of people don't really think too highly of that game, but GTA 4, you know, it's always going to have a place in my heart. Do you know what I mean? Because that was kind of like my introduction to the series. I mean, like, for me...
So I was 15 when GTA 4 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my friend's big brother to buy me it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I never thought it was actually that violent.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest.
No, I don't think so either.
See, looking back, I don't think GTA is that violent, man, to be honest, like, looking back and stuff like that. Like, it's almost kind of like, I mean, like, with San Andreas and stuff like that and Vice City, like, it's almost kind of like cartoony.
Yeah. GTA 5, there is that one scene with the torture scene, but a lot of the violence, like, you shoot people, but what game, like, there's very few games where you're not shooting people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see why that scene got so much flack in GTA 5. I thought it was fine.
I think that was the intention. I think that was the intent, because it's kind of a pointless mission.
Yeah.
No, well, like, you had context, like, you had to get the information out of the guy.
To be honest, I think it was...
It was a little bit,
like... For the sake of controversy.
I actually think it was kind of like
I found it fun. I thought it was kind of cool.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah, but like they justify it. Like at the end, you bring the guy to the airport, and like even Trevor, the crazy guy who was torturing him, is like, right, off you go, kind of thing. You save. It's not as if you do all that and then you slit his throat and say fuck you, thanks for the information.
Yeah,
like it's kind of a nice ending to it as well.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like a political statement from my point of view, like showing like how kind of useless torture actually is, because you get very little information.
Actual reliable
information. I think it was.
I think in GTA, besides that scene, a lot of the violence, like the actual like gratuitous like mowing down pedestrians violence, is on the player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do that whole game without running over a single person or without shooting a single civilian.
Mm-hmm.
You just kill the people that you're told to kill in the missions, but it's like, oh, it teaches you go and get prostitutes and then kill them and take their money back, and it's teaching kids like all this bullshit. But like that's entirely on the kid. Like there's no point in the game where your mission is go and have sex with a prostitute. And then kill
they don't focus on the fact that in GTA 5 you can like play tennis, play golf or whatever, darts, go cycling, go cross country, all the other stuff in the game.
Do a bit of dirt biking.
Yeah, they don't focus on that stuff. But I mean, you were talking earlier about games that you were maybe like when you were younger, like kind of thought was too violent for you. I mean, like for me, like see, just because when I was younger, I was like very squeamish, and I still am. Like that kind of put me off GTA when I was younger, and maybe not want to play it. Like I can remember getting Halo 3 for Xbox, right? I was maybe about 12, and that was the first game I got that was like a 15, and that was a pure big deal for me.
Yeah. You were squeamish at Halo 3?
No, GTA. I was squeamish at when I was younger, like when I was like 7 or 8.
Right, okay.
I think the most obvious one, like when you were a kid, was Manhunt.
Yes,
that was the one
that's what I'm looking at right now.
I never played it, but everyone was talking about Manhunt.
Yeah.
I never actually heard about it until I was older.
Right,
but
okay.
It looks like
it's like a psychological horror. Like it's pretty gratuitous. But speaking of something a bit more recent that has a lot of the kind of like nostalgia, have either of you played Hotline Miami? Or Hotline Miami 2.
Yeah, but that game now may be violent.
That came out in 2012.
Yeah.
Miami.
I love those games, but they're not like pure. They're not going to make somebody go out and fucking stomp someone's head in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they remind me a lot of like the games for like the PS1, like GTA, like the top-down GTAs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they were like, but it's not. I mean, it's a stupid thing to say that this video game teaches me how to go in and kill 45 people.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I remember I was going to get. I was interested in the Warriors, but then we had like with an Xbox demo disc, there was a trailer for it, and I watched it, and I remember just thinking that game looks way too violent. Like I was genuinely like that. Like my mum was cool. Like if there was like she would generally buy me any game. Like she wouldn't really be like she was clever enough to know like I know the difference between fantasy and violence and stuff. And like when I seen that game, I was like, fucking hell, man, that looks like maybe if I look back at it now, I just kind of laugh at it like that's nothing. But like I remember at the time, I was thinking, God, that looks fucking brutal, man. It looked very gritty and quite realistic at the time for me. I was like, fucking hell, like. Is that the case? Because like I think
Warriors. No, it's a lot of. There's not a lot of like blood and stuff. It's a lot of fighting more than anything. Yeah, and a lot of the time,
the fighting is very down and gritty, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of the time though, you're running away.
I think the most recent game that we can attribute this to was Hatred. Everybody was getting worked up about. I remember Ross, we watched the trailer. We watched the trailer for it in college, and we were pissing ourselves laughing at it. So the guy just had this pure, like, intense monologue. It's like, my life has been cold, bitter, hatred.
I've fucking seen this.
Yeah.
The guy's got really long hair.
Yeah. Such a stupid game.
Fucking game.
I mean, I think
actually, Ross.
Yeah.
I think Funhouse played Hatred. And it's fucking hilarious, man. It's so funny.
Yeah. I mean,
the game is ridiculous.
To wrap this up, I mean, if we're talking about the most well-known game for this sort of thing, I mean, it's obviously Doom and Columbine.
Doom and Columbine?
Yeah.
They blamed Doom?
The Columbine shooters.
Yeah.
Well, they made Doom. Like, they made their school in Doom.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I remember that.
All the people.
Yeah.
Shooting all the school, and then they went and shot up their school. But that's, I mean, I don't know about that. That's like that might have been the case. Like they used it to like fantasize about doing it, and then eventually it wasn't enough, and they actually went and did it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't blame the video game. I think they had them thoughts and they've manipulated the video game in a way that had kind of helped their fantasy or whatever.
They didn't play Doom and then go, you know what would be really fun? Shooting up a school. Like, they were obviously mentally...
Yeah.
They were obviously mentally ill, you know?
Right. So...
just while we're on the topic, a while ago I was saying, like, have you ever played a video game that's kind of disturbed you? I've never actually played it. I've watched like a video of all the kind of gruesome deaths in it, and that was Dead Space. Have you seen any of the kind of death?
Yeah.
I keep trying to play Dead Space, and I fucking can't because of how scary it is. But I do know what you mean. Like, every bad guy has like a unique like way of killing you as a player, and some of them are horrific.
Yeah, like genuinely, I remember watching the video of all the deaths, and I was like genuinely disturbed. Like, not even like, whoa, that was pretty weird. Like, I'm genuinely disturbed at how violent it was. I was like, fucking hell, that is absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, for me, it's not really violence, but I was more disturbed, and it's Outlast. I was saying to you a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, like, that game was too scary for me to play it. Yeah, I mean, in terms of violence, like straight up violence, Matt, I don't know if you got this. See in Metal Gear Solid 5, did you do all the stuff for Paz? Like, you got the photos? Like, you know how she's got the stitches in her... Yeah, you know how she's got the stitches in her stomach? Like, you go into her room, right, and she's got her back to you, and then she turns around and she's ripped her stitches open, and she's, like, basically pulling out... Like, she's disemboweling herself, but she's pulling out all her intestines and stuff like that. And she pulls out the bottom of her stomach. And I was watching it. And I actually had to stop because I was like, I'm going to be fucking sick. That's disgusting. It was just really, really bad.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It just shows the extremes if they go to horrify people now, because like we're so kind of numb to violence and stuff. We're desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're monsters.
Right. Are we done?
Yeah, I'm done with that topic.
Right. Well, we'll wrap it up then.
We're going for an hour.
Yeah, we're going for nearly an hour and a half.
Talked about violent video games without once mentioning Mortal Kombat, but it kind of goes without saying.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
So yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. I've been Bobby. I'm also here with Lois and Matthew.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right. Cheerio, everyone. Bye bye.